The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
The views and opinions expressed by the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, are of my own and no one else, nor do they reflect Beyond Ringside. So, ladies and gentlemen, due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And just like a case of the munchies that never goes away, the To Be Determined Show back live Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com. I'm the Oracle of Ominous, the architect of intellect, the Wicked Nemesis. Today is May 6th, 2015, and we have to start straight from the get-go, straight from the top. Thank you to everyone listening tonight. It is the return of the To Be Determined Show. Big shout out to Jeremy Hurst, Teresa, everyone listening out there. Thank you to everyone joining us live, everybody joining us on the apps, and of course on the BeyondCast. My producer extraordinaire, the host of Beyond Ringside, the one and only Fast Eddie Layne. Eddie, how you doing this evening?
Doing pretty damn good. It's been a decent week. Hadn't been a great week. Hadn't been a horrible week. It might be a good week for a military takeover, though.
And my co-host, you know him from the Sevenfold Saints. He is the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock. Braddock, how you doing this evening?
Doing great, man. Just been chilling at the house for a little while. Had to do some work with Mr. Ajicic tonight, and it was good. We ground down some fence. It was riveting.
It sounds very riveting. And my much better half, Angie Travis. Angie, how you doing this evening?
I'm excited. We're back.
Yes, we're back.
Happy to be here.
And we come back with guns a-blazing.
Yes.
If we were a movie, I guess this would be The Unforgiven. You know him. He is a YouTube sensation. Wrestling with Regrets on Brian Zane. Brian Zane, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Thanks again for having me on the show for a second time.
We appreciate it. The last time you were on, of course, the place went crazy. It went nuts. A lot of discussions to be had, but we're going to jump straight into it. You have been on quite the tear this season. Season 4 has been on fire. A lot of views for a lot of different content. What do you attribute that to?
Well, it honestly, it comes down to, I don't want to say laziness, but it's the difficulty of being able to produce episodes, those full-length critic episodes where I kind of just lampoon movies and storylines every week. To do that on a regular basis can be kind of exhausting. The process of writing it and finding the material and shooting it all and editing it all, that makes it, it can be tiresome after a while. So what I decided to do this season was kind of break things up. I was going to kind of expand the prominence of the more editorial pieces I do and kind of make those on the same level or make them as prominent as my more humorous reviews. And I try and throw humor into the commentary as well, the editorials, to add some levity to it. But, I'm just trying to diversify and talk about more things that are just in the current stuff. Because obviously I've been doing a lot of things from the past, but I want to talk about more current events in wrestling, and so I'm trying to do that, trying to engage the audience that way as well.
You have been quite the sensation for an extended period of time on YouTube. Now, you also are very eclectic in what you do and what you cover. As you were talking about, you say that it is laziness, but everything that you offer, if you're a wrestling fan, there's something that you have that you're going to like. There's one video, there's a discussion, there's some type of humor, but you have been releasing a few, like, I guess you want to call them shorties, I think is what you label them as. How did that come about, and what made you all of a sudden decide to start doing those right now?
It kind of came to me because last month I was in California for WrestleMania, and I kind of wanted to do a little fun thing where I was kind of reporting from my hotel room the night before, and I wanted to do a quick little video. And this is all I shot with my phone, just kind of guerrilla journalism, shooting little stand-ups with my phone, saying I'm here, and just talk about the show and the hype for it, and then afterwards. And those are pretty well received, along with my other long-form videos. I thought, it's like, let's try and turn that into a thing. And so this also started right around the time I was missing my camera. Long story short, I loaned my camera to someone, and he went out of town with it and then forgot it. And then for a whole month I was without the camera that I'd been shooting over so long. So I had to try and come up with content somewhere. Luckily, I had episodes in the can to tide me over, but that was, I just wanted to start kind of doing these other little shorter videos. And so I decided to follow in the same vein as the WrestleMania videos, but I just do short little discussion starters about whatever random topic comes to mind. So, like, first thing I wanted to talk about was Bo Dallas's goatee and how silly it was, in my opinion. And then I just, watched the Iron Sheik documentary on Netflix, so I wanted to talk about that and give my thoughts. Like, and a lot of it's stuff that I wouldn't dedicate a full episode to because, just because it's, like, not something worth really making fun of, not lampooning. Something just worth, it's worth talking about, but it's difficult to come up with a bunch of jokes, So I want to talk about it and I want to engage the audience and ask what they think because, one of the whole things that makes YouTube great and also it's kind of a double-edged sword, the community factor in YouTube is a lot of fun sometimes. So it's good to have those discussions with people. So those little short videos are more discussion starters than anything. But I'm having fun doing those, and the most recent one I did was it wasn't really a current event, or it was more kind of, I guess you could say it was a commentary on a current event. It was a Tough Enough audition video I did as Mike the Maleficent Love Machine. So I just basically kind of took everything that I've seen in those videos that are wrong, what not to do in a video like that, and just kind of all put it into one big smorgasbord. But no, the short videos are fun. There's quick little things I can do to kill some time and keep people engaged in between the long-form episodes.
The Tough Enough video was very funny. We have watched a lot of Tough Enough videos, Angie and myself, and we've had Spiral, we've had Clyde Braddock, we've had Gabriel Dean do some really, really good Tough Enough videos, and we have seen some really bad ones.
Yes.
And you literally just took a time capsule video of what independent wrestling is like right now and put it on that video. It's a timestamp. That's what you just did. You just timestamped independent wrestling in 2015. Oh my God, I'm about to cry just laughing about it, just even thinking about it.
Well, what's funny about those Tough Enough videos is just how, I guess, delusional people are. Because some people have a shot. People, who have a good body and have good charisma. But then there are the people who are like the beanpoles. You see, like, their backyard wrestling ring in the background. You see their whole toy collection up on their shelf. And it's just like, what makes these, or their replica belts over their shoulders, what makes them think that WWE would take any of what they're doing seriously? The people with no physique, the people with bad physiques. Like, have you not paid attention to what WWE has been doing for the last, 15 years in terms of like who they bring on and who they look for? I just think it's funny when that happens. And, these people think they have as equal a shot as, actual workers like Clyde Braddock or, people who have, lots of experience and all, that sort of thing. That's what's funny about it. I think the open audition is more kind of a way for WWE to, find all these videos and go, look at these dweebs, I'm kind of waiting for my video to show up. I don't know if, I think they realize, though, mine is not supposed to be meant to be taken seriously.
I believe it's Lucha Underground that you have started watching.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is that you've been watching recently? There's something that you've discovered recently. That
Oh no, it wasn't Lucha Underground. I don't have any kind of cable, so I haven't been able to watch much Lucha Underground. I know a couple of people who are in it, but that's about as far as it goes. No, the thing I was referring to on Facebook the other day was Hood Slam, which is an Oakland-based. It's an Oakland, California-based independent promotion, and it's hard to categorize it just as wrestling. The saying that goes around there is Hood Slam isn't Hood Slam isn't wrestling. Hood Slam is Hood Slam. It's got wrestling, but I think the other best way I would describe it is kind of a burlesque show. Nothing too outrageous. It's just it's kind of a variety show. It's got kind of the feel. It's basically what WWE would be if it had the aesthetic and the passion of like an indie rock show in a grungy part of town. That's essentially what it is. It's got the characters. It's got the great athleticism, but it's on a much smaller scale. And you can also drink and smoke pot openly in the venue. Yay. So that's part of the appeal, I guess.
You are no man to step away from controversy. A rather somewhat controversial subject come up in one of your videos recently, labor unions in wrestling. For those that have not seen your video, you did a pro and con to a variety of topics and ideas for a labor union. What has been the response thus far for that video?
It's actually been pretty minimal. I'd have to say it's actually one of my least watched videos on YouTube, and I'm not sure why. I think it shows me that the fans of my show don't necessarily stick around for the serious topics, the ones that are overly serious. I think they like the humor of my show, which is great, and I try to keep doing that. But every once in a while, I try and get a little serious, have those very special episodes of Wrestling With Wregret. So I don't know. I haven't heard much from my worker friends, and most fans would agree that a labor union would be nice. But like I said in the video, there's just so much red tape to even consider, to entertain the idea of forming a union, because you couldn't have one national union, because every state is regulated differently in terms of how wrestling operates. New York is different than Georgia. California is different than Oregon. In California, you can basically just set up a ring at a place and say you're a promoter. You don't have to get a license. You don't have to get any kind of permit. Just got to be able to rent the venue. And even the wrestlers themselves, there's different degrees of what you need to be a licensed professional wrestler. In Oregon, you just need blood work, valid blood work. But in Washington State, you need to have that, and you also need to have an actual wrestling license. And, it goes varies from state to state. So that alone, the fact that pro wrestling is so irregularly regulated, is one of the biggest hurdles for a labor union. And also another big issue is the fact that not everyone works at the same level. And, obviously you have your WWE guys, your people who work on that national scale, but then you've got people at indie feds all over the country who are even every indie fed in every state is different levels. There are some good ones and there are some bad ones. There are some more regular wrestlers, and then there are some ones that only work once a month or once every couple of months. Are we supposed to expect those guys to pay their monthly dues? It's just there's a lot of dues that would make forming a wrestling union very difficult. As much as it would be good for wrestlers, because then they would have autonomy and freedom, and they would hopefully be paid a decent wage. They wouldn't be paid in the old hot dog and a handshake. It's just one of those issues. It's very political, but it's also it's a very sticky situation.
Eddie, your thoughts on this, because you and I spoke at length about this several years ago.
Yeah, you must have. You started throwing just as I was saying, toss in the production chat. Yeah, that's always been a sticky one with me because I've monitored and can't really say monitor, but I have paid attention to what happens with unionized labor in certain circumstances. A labor union in and of itself can be a beautiful thing, especially if the priorities are kept in order. Now, this is where I'm going to go ahead and say address all complaint letters to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue because they pay about as much attention to hate mail as I do. My argument with this Yeah, I'll write an executive order ignoring hate mail. There you go. It works for me. The problem with this is you have some people, I will never name names, sorry, ain't that much money, but you have some people in the pro wrestling business who don't care what corners they have to cut to try to open the doors. You have other promoters who are genuinely looking to build a successful business. You will have this same problem if you try to unionize professional wrestling. Who do you have run it? What is the extent of their authority? How much is it going to cost? What is the money going to be used for? Are the regulations going to be uniform all the way across the lower 48? Let's just say all 50 states. There is pro wrestling in Hawaii and Alaska too. Let's not forget that. The drawback to the scenario is no one will be able to agree on a damn thing more than anything else. If you listen to a traditional talk show, it doesn't matter if it's wrestling or not, where two or more opinions are gathered, their dissension will be sometimes. So imagine trying to take that into a full-scale loop as far as trying to unionize professional wrestling. You've got states like California, which are technically higher income states. You've got larger indie promotions, and I hate using that term. WWE is the largest indie on the planet, enough said. But as far as it goes, you've got promotions that are hot dog and a handshake. You've got promotions where the new guy comes in, makes $20. The people who've been there for the longest time and show they have talent make $50, $7,500. Are you going to is a union going to be put in place to tell a promoter what he can and cannot pay a person? Because that's going to cause a problem right there. If it can be done in order to weed out the idiots, the cretins, and the morons, the brain-dead twits who don't need to be in this business because they're doing nothing more than hurting it, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
But if it's something where legitimate promoters and real talent are going to have to pay the price for those incompetent boobs, then there's going to be another problem.
Exactly.
That's my side of the coin on that. I mean, personally, wouldn't mind seeing it tried, but I live in Alabama where we've had to deal with the Alabama Athletic Commission, which has taken pro wrestling under its mafia-esque umbrella for a money grab and has followed through with virtually none of the promises with which they've made. Sorry, Brandon, it's the truth. We were supposed to have the same outlets that MMA and boxing has, and they've not put it in play. So I can speak as somebody from Alabama, a veteran in Alabama. If something like this were to try to happen, I would be very, very wary and probably not trust it to begin with, even if I ran it.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the big things. That's another thing excellent point you brought up. Is the fact with the athletic commissions, and the athletic commissions and what they do. And the fact, and also the stigma attached with wrestling. Like you said, wrestling is treated a lot different in a lot of places than boxing and mixed martial arts. So, again, it's just one of those things. And it's not just the wrestling side, but it's also the legal side that makes the union very difficult to actually pull off.
Wick?
Let's talk about a lighter subject. The Grandmasters of Wrestling. Now, I had part of this. And I believe it's, what I have, part 2?
Yes.
I have part 2 of this. When I saw this, I laughed my ass off. I immediately Facebooked you a picture of it, the cover of the DVD that I have. This was also covered slightly in the Iron Sheik documentary, The Sheik.
Yeah.
How in the hell did you come up with this video, the Grandmasters of Wrestling? Here it is. Your season, you have this momentum, and then you drop this on us. Oh my God! It was so hilarious.
You loved it.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
we're so about it.
But it was funny. And by the way, I was watching the Sheik documentary, and when that came up, I really popped big for it. Oh my God, Grandmasters of Wrestling! It's hilarious. I first heard about Grandmasters of Wrestling years ago. From a website called WrestleCrap.com. I don't know if you've heard of it. they did a review of that, and that's when I first heard about the Mighty Maccabee. And for a while, I didn't think much of it after that. And then, as I was looking for more stuff to talk about, one of my viewers suggested I look into it. And so I looked it up. And I saw, the DVDs. I haven't seen them on sale at Walmart in a long time, so I had to go actually pay for them off Amazon. I had to borrow some from friends. But the Grandmasters DVDs are really fascinating. I'm sure that the money they make off that, for as cheap as they sell them, I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like The Room, where it's one of those cult classics, so bad it's good that you just have to see it in order to believe it.
Porkies.
The wrestling, everyone but Mighty Maccabee, you can take it or leave it. I think a lot of the problem is you got these people who are kind of past their prime, with the exception of people like Bam Bam Bigelow, and people like that who showed up, and Devin's before he became Crowbar. You got guys who are athletic and can work, but I don't think they're motivated to work. That's the problem. And you have Nikolai Volkov, who I think hasn't taken more than 2 or 3 bumps in the last 10 years. And you combine the fact that you got your main event in each show was Mighty Maccabee, who doesn't wrestle and decided he would not bump, and especially not bump well when he finally chose to. It's the perfect storm. It has the bad production values. It makes it the perfect storm of just laughably bad wrestling content. And so it was perfect for my show. And I actually wanted to end season 3 with that stuff, but for timing reasons, I couldn't get it done. So I figured it'd be a good way to start season 4 with a 2-parter.
When that dropped, Angie and I decided that we were going to drink some Grey Goose vodka and sit around and watch that. Well, it got played on a loop all night. And all I kept hearing night long.
No, let me tell this part.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly which match, or you made the point. There's someone who is just making a noise the entire match. Just there's a noise they make, a grunt. I don't know, but it's like a noise the entire match. So we're laying in bed, and he's like, "You're gonna have to turn that down."
Yes, between that and the background noise, the constant.
So I turn it down, and he goes, "You're gonna have to turn that down a little bit more." So I literally turn it all the way down. It's on mute, and we're laying there, and he goes, "Really? You're probably just gonna have to turn that on mute." And I'm like, "It's gone. Yeah, but it's that annoying. It's that."
They have a pipe. For those that don't know, they have piped in crowd noise throughout the entire. I believe it was part 1.
Maybe that was it. I don't know. It was just.
Brian, was it part 1? They had the piped in noise continuously throughout the entire DVD.
No, it was part 2 actually. It was the second one. If you watch part one, all the audio is natural. I don't think they did anything to sweeten it or anything. But then you hear, the piped in noise in part 2, which leads me to believe the crowd excitement level was so bad they had to do something in order to boost it up. Now, you could argue maybe the crowd from the first show reacted the same way. I imagine they edited this stuff together for DVD at around the same time. But my theory is because the venue in the first one was so smaller, it was a tent outdoors, so it had different acoustics, that it probably lent itself to sound louder than it really was. So when you have the same product 4 years later in a much larger, more cavernous area, I've been in dead crowds before. It could have used, some piped-in noise. But this one is the fact that they didn't discriminate whether it was a heel talking or face talking or what point in the match it was, whether it was the beginning, it was a rest hold, whether it was the finish. Crowd sounded the exact same. Everyone was just whooping and hollering and clapping the entire length of the show. That had to be the most engaged, excited crowd I've ever heard before in my life. Even WrestleMania 31, there were some lulls when I was in the audience. But this crowd, apparently, in Livingston, New Jersey, had them beat.
You, as you've said, went to WrestleMania 31. What was your favorite moment about that? Maybe something we didn't see. Maybe it was a match.
Honestly, I complained about it a little bit in my review, but I mean, I'm not going to lie. When DX came out, I was kind of intrigued, but I didn't think it was going to go any further than that. And then when the NWO came out, to counter that, I literally just one of the few times in the whole show I just jumped out of my seat with excitement. Couldn't believe it. And I can't remember the last time I actually ever did that for a show, but it was pretty awesome. And just hearing the crowd reaction was pretty awesome too. That's what made it more fun. And as far as that was kind of one of my favorite moments. I'm trying to think of a favorite match. I mean, I guess ladder match was fun. The opener was fun. The pre-show, the tag match. Every match was good. Every match delivered. But as far as the most fun I had, I guess it would have to be Sting Triple H, and then the opening, the tag team title match, and then the ladder match.
You have so far 3 videos, music videos, parodies that you have unleashed upon the world. One of them is an absolute masterpiece. Now, I don't remember where I was when I heard it the first time. The original Meatloaf version of "I would do anything for love, but I won't do that." But I will always remember where I was when I heard "I would do anything for heat, but I won't do that."
That's right.
That was so funny. Everyone, as soon as this show is over, not the interview, because we'll have more show after Brian Zane, I promise. As soon as if you're listening to this recorded, pause it right now. We're going to give you a second. We're not going to give any Age of Ultron spoilers away or anything. I promise you that. You can pause right now. Go check out Brian Zane's YouTube page, Wrestling With Wregret, and check out "I Would Do Anything for Heat." That is hilarious. But you have also...
The proper name is actually called The Heels Lament. Let's not forget. Parenthetical, "I would do anything for heat." So, yes.
I'm sorry.
Make sure that's clear.
Shame on me. Bad host, because that is exactly right. That is hilarious. You have also done a Blurred Lines cover, Wrestling With Wregret, which was funny in its own on behalf.
Yes.
And also, Do You Want to Build a Snowman from Frozen with Do You Want to Watch Some Wrestling, which was hilarious. When will there be a new music video? Because this seems to be something that is an art form, and you seem to be very good at this.
Very talented.
As Weird Al can cover any pop song, you can cover any pop song and make it wrestling related.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of fun to do the music videos. I wish I could do them more often, but a lot of times I just find myself kind of creatively kind of like stuck with a lot of them. They're actually, I will say, to answer your first question, the next music video is actually going to be coming out next week. Next Thursday at noon will be the release of my newest parody music video. I don't want to give anything away as to what the song is. If you follow my Wrestling With Wregret Facebook page, you might have gotten a hint a few weeks ago. Because I took a screen capture of when the song itself was being saved on Adobe Soundboard. Like I do usually, I post the thumbnail. I post like a preview picture on Monday or Tuesday, like what that episode's going to be that week. So that's when you'll find out on Monday. But I mean, I love doing the music videos. They're tons of fun. I mean, growing up, Weird Al Yankovic was one of my biggest musical influences of all time, second only perhaps to Michael Jackson. And so and I've always kind of loved doing, kind of coming up with like alternate verses for different songs. And so now now that I've done 3 and going on 4 music videos for wrestling, I listen to like almost every song I hear on the radio or on Pandora. I listen to it and I wonder, could I do something wrestling related with that? And so I try and come up with a couple of things. Usually it's only like a phrase. Usually it's only like one line or one part of the chorus. And if I can't come up with anything beyond that, I just kind of dump it. There are a couple of songs I've actually written. There are songs I've fully written that I don't know if I'll ever record because they're either dated or usually the reason I wouldn't record a song is because I want to follow up the music video, and thinking about it, visualizing it, the music video itself will be too technically difficult for me to pull off. I don't want to do just a song. I want to have like the video to go with it. And if I can't make the video work, then I don't want to do the song either. but I do have some songs that are written but not recorded. Maybe down the line I might do like a little digital album or something just to have them. But as of right now, it's just the 4 songs right now, and there actually are plans for a 5th one by the end of this season.
Weird Al Yankovic being a huge influence in anybody's life speaks volumes for somebody, but Michael Jackson as well. Michael Jackson, of course, the king of pop. You talked about writing your own songs. I think that's also something that stands out is when you can do that. I mean, one thing is hearing something on Pandora, like you said, and actually being able to relate it to wrestling. Another thing is to completely make your own song. What next for Wrestling with Regret? You have music videos, your reviews have a ton of views. You're tackling political statements in wrestling. You've covered video games, game shows. You've pretty much called out Joe Rogan of UFC. I mean, what next for Wrestling with Regret? And you have a T-shirt.
Yeah, I have T-shirts. Yeah, on sale now. Go to wrestlingwithregret@gmail.com. Order yours today. Hashtag cheap plug. But I mean, as far as the future for Wrestling with Regret, I mean, I just want to keep having fun, and that's what this is to me. It's right now it's just a fun hobby, and I'm trying to do something with it. It's not going to replace my day job by any means. Although I did just receive my first, Google payment. I finally racked up enough ad hits. It took almost 2 years to get there, but I finally got a paycheck from Google, which I was very happy with recently. As far as, expanding, I'd like to do some collaborations with other wrestling-themed YouTubers. My problem right now is finding any YouTube personalities that are in the same kind of family as me, because what I've discovered is that a lot of people who talk about wrestling on YouTube just do audio. It's basically podcasts in the YouTube form. They don't see them. You don't see themselves on camera. It's all opinion based. There's no writing. There's no level of writing like mine or humor. There are some out there, but those are difficult to find. People are recommending some to me, and I'm trying to get in touch with them. So I'd like to do some collaborations with people. Kind of like what that game show episode was with Robert from Game Show Garbage, which is an excellent series as well, by the way. I recommend you look that up, too. But, I want to do more collaborations. I'd like to do more music videos. Like I said earlier, I'd like to maybe put something out on iTunes with my parodies. And just keep having fun. Also, I want to justify the purchase I made in buying a new camera, which I'm doing the videos on now, the new camera and microphone, which has dramatically increased my production value. And I want to do more stuff where I'm taking my show on the road, so to speak, kind of like where I do more little skits outside of my house, and it's kind of like what I do with WrestleMania. I don't think I'm going to go to very many pay-per-views and do reviews in a hotel room. WrestleMania was kind of a one-time thing. But, I just want to, basically keep doing what I'm doing, and if I'm inspired to do something kind of beyond what I'm used to, I'm going to try and shoot for that as well.
Angie, any questions for Mr. Zane?
No questions, just I'm very excited. I can't wait for the next video. And keep doing what you're doing. We love it.
Eddie, any questions?
Actually, I'm good. I've actually been having a good time listening.
Well,
And you've given me some places I need to go check out.
Yeah, well, I can tell you a couple places. There's, it's Wrestling With Regret. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube, and of course the regret has a W in front of the regret. It's alliterative. It's WWW. So Wrestling With Regret's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. I'm on Twitter. If you're into that, it's at Z-Man Brian Zane. Yeah, and again, sell my T-shirts. Available from medium to XXL. It's basically the NWO logo, but it's all W's. And and I just recommend that everyone go to the Facebook page, because that's got I post things pretty frequently on there, and I also always preview what I'm going to do that week, so you get kind of a sneak peek on a Monday or a Tuesday before it airs on Thursdays. New episodes drop every Thursday at noon. Basically, and it keeps going until I have to recharge my batteries. Season 4 is shaping up to be my longest season, and my most ambitious season in terms of what I've done so far, what I hope to do. But at some point, it's going to have to take a break because I can't keep this idea machine. Can't keep cranking out things forever.
I know the feeling.
Oh boy, you just open up a can of worms. We want to tell you always thank you for coming on, but before we go, I have to ask you, we talked about this last time, we're going to talk about it again. Favorite wrestling video game, favorite character, period. You have one guy, if your life depended on the game, we worded this a different way last time, but I'm going to ask it straight up.
I don't think any lives were on the line last time.
Well, no, because I want to think about this. I want this to simmer.
Okay.
Because the man knows his video games.
I know.
And he knows his crappy video games.
Oh, in other words, he's played 2K.
Now, Brian, what's your video game order from your top 3 or 4 best wrestling video games?
It's funny because really in no particular order, I have to say those 4 Nintendo 64 games that THQ and AKI put out, World Tour, Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, and No Mercy. I would probably put World Tour at the bottom of those just because it's the least intuitive, I feel, compared to the other 4. No Mercy, I don't think it's my favorite just because when things get too hectic in that game, the frame rate slows down and really kills the flow. So I'd have to say, as far as top 2, it have to be a tie between Revenge and WrestleMania 2000. But I'm also kind of torn because my favorite wrestling game character of all time was Black Ninja from World Tour because he had some of the coolest moves. He also had a really cool leg lock that I thought was really fun to watch. So I'd have to say my favorite character I ever played as was probably Black Ninja. But definitely those 4 N64 games will always hold a place in my heart. I've been wanting to play the 2K games, but I've always wanted to wait because the opinions of them have been so bad.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to 2K15, but when I heard so many negative things about it, especially what they took away from 14 and didn't bring back in 15, I'm going to wait until maybe 16, and maybe it'll be better. I don't know. All I know is I was really left with a bad taste in my mouth for 13 because especially of online and how people would ruin the online experience.
If I could, let me jump in for a second because I've been reading the same thing you've been reading about 2K15, and they're getting ready for the PC release. And picture this, they've got the poster boy John Cena hyping the PC version going, I played PC games for years. I can picture him playing console, no problem whatsoever. I can picture him playing arcade, no problem whatsoever. I can't picture him playing the PC version of the game. And the PC version of the game, believe it or not, is supposed to have all of the downloadable content that was put out when the game first came out for console. That was the immediate gratification thing. And then, or the early buy, you buy this early, you get all this. And people who bought after that are sitting back going, really? So the PC gamers are going to get all the stuff that we're having to pay for now. So 2K15 is really just, pardon the expression, screwing the pooch left and right this year.
Yeah, it's too bad because I think they have the potential to do something really cool with the first of the current gen consoles. But I guess we have to wait until 2K16, and maybe then it'll be better. Who knows?
Maybe a miracle will occur and EA will pick it up.
It's a rare day when someone speaks positively of EA these days.
Hey, EA's a world better than what 2K's doing. That's all I can say.
If we could only go back to the Nintendo 64 days, that was a great time for games. You had GoldenEye.
Some days we do here.
Oh yeah, no, we get in that.
Our kids as well.
Oh yeah. Like I said before, like I said last interview, my 12-year-old, my 2 stepsons, 14 and 11, I beat the hell out of them in any Nintendo 64 wrestling game.
And then
because you gotta teach them to be a man. You gotta take that ass whooping. They gotta take that Paco Loco headbutt. I'm just saying. Paco Loco. If I had Starman, I'd beat the shit out of him with Starman too. Anyways.
Go give me back my ColecoVision and my Activision Pitfall game.
No. Shut up.
That's what I need to get on video.
Oh, God. Anyways. Brian, thank you so much for coming on this evening. Nothing but success your way. It is well deserved. You've built quite the throne to sit upon when it comes to wrestling in YouTube. So congratulations with that, sir. How can everyone get in touch with you for bookings? I know you ran through the Twitter and a few other things, but you are still an active manager, sir.
Yep, that's right. So, I mean, you can get in touch with me at wrestlingwithregret@gmail.com. If you can find me on Facebook, you can always contact me through the Facebook page as well. If you happen to know my shoot name and are friends with me, if I don't know you, if I haven't met you at a show, I probably won't add you as a Facebook friend, but you can always send me a message directly through that, or just a Facebook page or email. But yeah, you know, I like to get booked more these days. That would always be nice. But you know, it's tough. You know, as you might know, it's tough for managers out there to really get beyond their home base.
Oh yeah.
But it's something I would like to do more of this year as opposed to last year. But again, you know, thanks so much for having me on here, and I'm really appreciative of all the fans who have supported my show, including you guys over the last. I'm almost 2 years in now. In June, it'll be 2 years of Wrestling with Regret, and you know, I hope to keep having fun myself, but also I want to make the fans happy as well. So that's my goal every time I do the show.
Brian, thank you so much, sir. You can check him out, Wrestling with Regret, with Regret, of course, with a W. Brian Zane, everyone. We're going to take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to talk about GCW and what has transpired since the last time we were on air. Holy crap, you've missed a lot. Right here, the To Be Determined Show, live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
And the Beyond Ringside mobile app.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Hey, this is the voice, Ted Guinness, and I'm inviting you to tune in every Thursday night after Cause and Effect and after SmackDown goes off the air for The Show, the only show on Beyond Ringside dedicated to all things WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and your phone calls. That's The Show, every Thursday night after SmackDown goes off the air. We go live right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside app.
You know, sometimes you have to take a stand, whether it's your first or your last, or whether you do it on a regular basis. This is the To Be Determined Show, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com. The Grand Design, Clyde Braddock. Something occurred, and you have been a part of it. I know that you can't talk about it much due to legal reasons, but you have kind of set off a firestorm, or not really set it off, but been a part of it. And your face is right there on TV when you're talking about something that happened in Milledgeville.
He took a stand.
Yeah, he took a stand right there, like right in front of everybody. You took a stand, and we want to applaud you for that.
Absolutely.
You
That was
stood
amazing.
up
Very proud to know you.
for what you believe in. Tell everyone what you can about what's going on?
Well, I'll tell everybody kind of my reasoning behind it. Let's just do that.
Okay.
My reasoning behind it is I just want it to be equal for everyone. I'm not asking that the place gets shut down or anything like that. I'm just saying that let's just make it equal. There's plenty of people that came up while I worked there. If anybody wants to watch the video, they can. I mean, it's on my page and all that. But the people that would come up while I was there, they had no ill intentions, but the owners didn't want them in there. So that's where the problem was with me, where people with no ill intentions, because you can tell when somebody's up to no good, especially when you go, like, I mean, security was my primary job at the time, you know? So, I mean, you know, when somebody has ill intentions, and I just don't think it was right while I was working there. I had to do it because I had to make money to put food on my table. And anybody that wants to knock me for that, they can. But I was a different person back then, just like I am now. I made a vow not to be a shitty person. And this is part of it. The people who created the Boycott Capital page knew me and knew my story. So they asked me if I would be open about it, and I said, of course. I have no problem being open about it. And I mean, you know, it's really stirring things up. I mean, I didn't really expect it to go like this crazy, but you know, I mean, a lot of people started coming forward, and then somebody came forward and said that everything I said, if you check out the interview, you can see what I said. Everything I said was true. A former employee who came forward and said that everything that I said was true, that's how they acted. And, you know, I mean, I just don't think it's right, and especially with the college town that we're in. And, you know, for me, it's really about where I come from. Like, I don't want everybody thinking that we're some people that come from all over the U.S. to come to Georgia College. Like they do. So people come from all over the U.S. and I don't want them to think that we're some shitty people down here that just won't let somebody in a club because of the color of their skin. It's bullshit. And I don't think it should be like that. And it's been happening for years. There was a lady on there that said that 20 years ago the shit was fucking happening. So, I mean, you know, we are open on the To Be Determined show. There is a parent advisory on it. So, I mean, I apologize for cussing about it, but that's the only time y'all ever hear me say that. But it's just, it's really ridiculous. And I'm handling it like a professional, like I always handle everything. Yeah, I did the interview in a tank top, but that's just fucking me. And I was working that day and took time off from my job to go there. And I work in a hot-ass laundromat. So, yeah, I was wearing a tank top. And, you know, the shit just don't need to happen no longer in Milledgeville. And that is my side of the coin. Sorry, Eddie.
Hey, wait. Oh, son of a bitch, it's not loaded. Never mind. You're safe.
Damn it. Yes.
Well, we want to applaud you for that.
Yes.
Congratulations on taking a stand. I saw Amanda said, I stumbled upon the comment section. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, well, I don't even pay attention to all that because it's just people being ignorant. and I mean, if anybody's looked at the thing, I haven't been real ugly about anything. I mean, I tell people that they asked me to talk about it, and I did.
That's right.
I've been honest with people about that. They asked me to talk about it, and I did. So, you know, it's really a big ordeal, and I don't mind being that person, but you know, I wish that other people would come forward like I did. You know, some people stay anonymous and all that shit. Well, I don't believe in that. If you're going to talk about somebody, I'll come out in the open and say it, because that's how I handle things in my real life. So, but anyway.
Do me a favor. Use my line again, please.
And that's my side of the coin.
That's my line!
Thank you,
There we
Arthur.
go.
Thank you,
I like
Arthur
it.
Tweedy. I've been
Now,
waiting on that sumbitch.
There's no easy way to segue into what we're going to talk about next. So I think we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about GCW and what has transpired. I just wanted to give Clyde a platform because I know that's something that's been just very quick and just boom, boom, boom as of late. And of course, I mean, as Clyde said, this is an open forum and we are in education. So,
And we definitely wanted to hear his side of the coin.
yeah, his side of the coin.
Sorry, Eddie.
It's okay.
Unfiltered. Like, because if anything was to happen, and I have to tell it again, you best believe, if I have to tell it behind closed doors or anything, you best believe that I'm gonna have my shit real straight then. So, yeah.
There you go. Let's take a quick break right here at the To Be Determined Show live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com, and the Beyond Ringside Radio app.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for Wrestle Rage Radio right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smart Rage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained. And along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at Wrestle Rage.
The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the To Be Determined Show right here on BeyondRingside.com. Greetings, this is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, and let me go ahead and clue you in right off the bat. We do things a little bit differently on the To Be Determined Show. We get a little bit more blunt, we get a little bit more adult, we get a little bit more explicit. In other words, this ain't your grandpa's radio show. And, well, it still ain't your grandpa's wrestling either, so it's kind of like that. So, brace yourself. Anything can happen. Come along for the ride. Anything and everything is to be determined.
When we last left you, we were GCW Tag Team Champions. Clyde Braddock, Lord of the Limelight, Dropkick Steve Styles, things have changed. The landscape of GCW has completely changed. Clyde, you've been doing a lot in and out of the ring. Get the fans caught up on what's been going on in the ring. We've caught up to what's going on outside of the ring as of recently.
Oh man, like it has been just a crazy ride. I've been working in Florida a lot with Vintage and with some other promotions around there, working at Ring Warriors. I mean, let's see, where's the other one? Zion's Gate.
Yeah.
All that stuff, man. It's been going really well, but Steve Styles came down to Vintage with me, which was good. We got to wrestle Dark City Fight Club. That was amazing, and we gave them a friggin' run for their money to be World Tag Team Champions at one time. But that's really all. I've just been traveling all around, kicking everybody's ass, making them beg for mercy, making them humble.
Now, May 16th, Steve Styles will be with you again in Vintage, Florida, correct?
Yes, and the 17th as well.
And the 17th as well.
Yeah, we'll be in Newport Richie on the 16th, and and then we'll be in Orlando on the 17th.
See,
We're gonna come
you know, there was a question asked by Charles Auschwitz or whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah.
They own
Southern
Fried Championship Wrestling and Anarchy. He asked he asked everyone an open question. If you could start a promotion with any talent out of Georgia, who would it be? Of course, AJ Steele, as it should have been, had several votes. Murder One had quite a few. Jimmy Rave had a few. Kyle Matthews, Chip Day. Who was Jagged Edge got quite a few votes. My vote was very clear, very concise, and I think everyone knows who it would be. It would be the Grand Design Clyde Braddock. He proves why not only did the man take a stand for social and civil rights, he takes a stand everywhere he goes. He went up against, with Steve Styles right there beside him, took on former multi-time NWA World Tag Team Champions, and dare might I say, one of, if not the best tag team that has come down the pipeline the last 15 years. Dark City Fight Club were so underrated, it was unbelievable. Those guys did more for the NWA Tag Team Championship than had been done in a while for those titles. They busted their asses. John and Corey went out and they defended them everywhere. They defended them on different continents. They defended them in several storylines. They defended them against no less than 20 different tag teams. No less than 20. That means that there could be more. So you tell me why you wouldn't start a promotion with somebody like Clyde Braddock that just went and had and I saw what Corey posted, and I saw shortly thereafter you were welcome into Show in a Box. Or was that right before then?
Yes.
So part of Show in a Box. Now,
yeah, part of it.
Now you are going to be standing across from Simon Says, Mike Cruz, and Francisco Chiazzo at Global Warfare on May 30th with Steve Styles, who was injured at the hands of Micah Taylor, which we will get to, and Dan Sawyer and Kaz, which that was a heinous act at the finals of the Junkyard Dog Memorial Tag Team Tournament.
Yeah.
With Steve Styles at your side, you'll be standing across from Showing a Box. What do you have to say regarding the fact that these guys have taken you under the wing, are now going to try to slap you with those very wings?
Well, kind of a rule is that we put our differences aside when there's money to be made. But they know the deal. Like, if they step, it's just like Leo Gold put it best. He said, whenever I get into a ring, I have a presence. Because whenever I step into a wrestling ring, it's not just that I think I'm the best or anything like that. It's that I know that I'm the best, that all my moves are going to be crisp and perfect, and everything is just going to come together very nicely. And and I'm going to kick the shit out of you, for one, because I don't play this hitting from 10 feet away. No, fuck that. We're wrestlers. We're tough. And they know that too. They know that whenever I step into a ring, I demand respect. And if you happen to be standing across from me, then my hand tied. So
Eddie, we have kind of been not necessarily Team GCW, but more or less Team Eddie in all of this. What has transpired thus far with you leading up to all of this at Global Warfare on May 30th?
Well, to put the world in proper perspective, I'm going to lay it out there like this. When the shot was fired by Micah Taylor and Mad Dog Dan Sawyer and the Cause, Robert Cosper, when I was floored and leveled with a damn steel chair, it took it from being any semblance of professional to being personal. Micah Taylor can sit back and say, well, I didn't mean anything personal by it. Mahalo. Let me go color my hair again. I'm going to hit him with a chair again, but it's not personal. Look, Dillweed, I've taken a sleeper hold from him. I've been choked out by him, and now I've been basically concussed with a steel chair. It's personal. I don't give a damn. But see, here's the thing. I'm not an active professional wrestler. And I have had this conversation with Sawyer before. I had this conversation with Micah Taylor after what transpired at Global Warfare 2013. Don't say it. Say it. You know what I'm thinking. Sorry, I kind of got discombobulated for a second. Never waste a heel turn. You knew I would. But see, you never, ever assume that everything you do is going to get you off scot-free. Always assume that anything you do will have ramifications and repercussions. So this isn't the fact. This, in my opinion, this is nothing about me. I just happen to be the commissioner of Global Championship Wrestling. I know for fact that there's friction between the 5-Star Fight Club as it was and whether it would have been the Unlucky Charms or whether it is the Sevenfold Saints. I know that there is friction between the Foundation of Professional Wrestling and Dylan Cook, Leon the Bull Stresser. I know that there was friction at what was one time the Underground versus the Foundation, as well as the Underground versus the Fight Club. There's dissension all the way across the board.
Well, let's look at it from this point of view, Eddie. This time last year, the fans were booing the hell out of Steve Styles, Clyde Braddock, myself, and AJ Still. Yet they were cheering Dan Sawyer. Dan Sawyer. Dan Sawyer. That was my Barbara Walters.
That was your
Dan Sawyer.
Pandora.
Dan Sawyer and Micah Taylor. And, of course, Joshua Hagan. Nobody knew who the hell Robert Cosper was.
No.
But all they were like, who's that guy out there with Eddie?
See, let's put the world in proper perspective. As I said, you never assume that anything you do is gonna get off scot-free. Always assume, always consider the notion that something's going to have ramifications and repercussions. That is why when everything has been coming together over the last few weeks, both in Alabama, Georgia, and other places too, in the boardroom, in the training session, in the gym, in the cars, things have been said. Things have been done. It's not just idle time. So as things fell into place, on April 25th, at the Pell City Civic Center in Pell City, Alabama, Battle Lines, which I want to thank everybody on the roster for their glowing support in supporting the hashtag. Sorry, I'm being an ass for a minute, because I can. I blame the chair shot. I blame the collard greens. But the fact of the matter stands, as everything started breaking down, centering some of it around Pandora, Calm Like a Bomb Pandora, the women's champion, and of course, the Foundation, and then of course, the rivalry between them and the Sevenfold Saints. And then you've got the situation with, it's all come together. And knowing the fact that global warfare is a prime place to settle it, sometimes, I decided to prime that pump a little bit more.
Prime it.
And here's where we go. The powers that be, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, the Hawaiian Hitman Micah Taylor, and Mr. O'Hagan, alongside of members of the Foundation of Professional Wrestling, Francisco Chiazzo, Mike Cruz, the Emerald Emperor Simon Says, on one side of the ring. On the other side, the Sevenfold Saints, the Grand Design Clyde Braddock, the Lord of the Limelight Steven Styles, the Bosnian War Child, the Complete Wrestling Machine, Spiral, the Real Deal AJ Steele.
That's right.
Leon the Bull Stresser and the Dream Chaser Dylan Cook. Here's the way we're going to do this, kids. It's called global warfare for a reason. But in my world, war is no game. This will be 6-on-6. This will be in a steel cage. However, war is handled through strategy and timing, intuition, as well as firepower. This match will start with 2 men, one from each team. Pick who you want to, boys. At the end of the first period, where if my notes are correct and everything has been agreed upon by all parties, that first period will be 3 minutes. At the end of that 3 minutes, coin toss, held backstage. I'll have a rep back there. Captains from both teams or reps from both teams will be there for the coin toss. That way everybody knows what everybody else is doing. The team that wins the coin toss will have a 1-man advantage for 2 minutes. At the end of the next 2-minute period, it becomes 2-on-2. And it goes back and forth until all 6 from each team are in the ring. Here's your twist. A pinfall or submission can occur at any time, creating an elimination. But when that 6th person, when that final individual from the last team gets in, then it goes down to the last person standing. Surrender, submit, pinfall. Who will win? I don't want to call it Team Eddie. I'm not that self-serving. I appreciate the sentiment. and I appreciate the respect. I would call it. I would be more than gracious and willing enough to. I'd be more than willing enough to accept that if I were one of the people inside that cage, putting my body on the line. But I'm not. Ask anybody who knows me. I'll jump in that cage in a heartbeat. I'm gonna get my ass kicked, but somebody's gonna know that I was in that ring.
I just wish we all had matching vests.
Yes.
The team.
Yes.
Team Black.
Han Solo it up.
No, Guy Gardner. Remember?
It's both. It's
Hey,
both.
that's
It's both. Let it go.
It looks like Han Solo, though.
I know. But see, that's why I also wear the white shirt underneath it. Okay.
Right. You do not have enough hair on your balls to right before Global Warfare it goes to say, Chewie, we're home. Global Warfare!
Hey, look, you're the one who actually. I threw down the gauntlet. And I challenged you to do it sooner or later. And by God, in April, you pulled it off at Battle Lines.
What'd I do?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I know it.
What did I do?
It was good, too.
Yes. Yes. Look.
It was good, too.
You did the legend. You did the tribute to the soundbite that we hold in the highest regard on this station.
So you had all day long to sit back there and think of a promo, and that's the only crap you could come up with?
Except you said all month long, and I fell on my ass laughing.
I cut a decent promo, I thought.
Yeah.
Hold on. Time out.
You don't know, but
Hold on. We're serious for a second. Whenever we first come out there to make the save, quote unquote, for Pandora, because they were beating the shit out of her, that power bomb, holy shit.
I was out of my chair.
She's so lucky that didn't break her neck. In all honesty, holy crap. Dan snatched her up, and I don't think he realized how fast he snatched her up because he threw her down as fast as he snatched her up. And I can't wait for that
People
to be so.
do that when
Oh
they
God,
break
man!
things.
Whenever you see the footage, that moment is one of those moments you're just like, ugh. Anybody that's ever taken a bump in our business, that was. And Dan was beating the shit out of her. We didn't know that Joshua O'Hagan had been a Benedict Arnold up until that point.
He'd been a dick.
Yeah, he's been a dick recently and
saw yes,
repeatedly.
ran it quick. Sorry, that's a old No Vaseline reference.
Yep.
Those counting at home by Ice Cube.
I'm just gonna say though that his fucking entrance music has made me hate that song.
I have no idea what the fuck the song is, but it takes forever. They're not fucking Kevin Nash.
No, I'm talking about Mr. O'Hagan.
Oh,
like his jump around.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
No, they didn't use that.
I'm saying that that made me hate that song.
Oh, okay.
That's beside the point.
That's because we've heard that.
I can't listen to that song and I imagine the fucking Holocaust. It's a horrible, horrible thing.
Well, anyways, so Clyde doesn't speak. Then we all take turns speaking. At the end, Clyde cut a great promo.
Yes, he did.
And Clyde stood out so much. I know. He stood out so much in that main event. It was awesome.
Yeah, I called Mad Dog Dan Sawyer a piece of cheese, and I thought it was hilarious because he does it like a fat piece of cheese with the wrapper still on it, the red wrapper. It's great.
No, he's just a fat rat after eating the piece of cheese.
Yeah. Oh no, he's a fat rat. That's funny because I've ran into a lot of fat rats and had to turn them all away. Especially down here. Jesus Christ, the rats are gigantic. It's like New York City rats.
Yeah, I know.
In person.
Me up. Ask about Clyde.
Yeah. Do what?
I've had women hit me up asking about Clyde. So.
I've had women hit me up too about Clyde, and I'm
I
like,
know,
fuck
and I
out of here.
always refer them to your lovely and gorgeous wife.
Yeah, and I've had men hit me up too, which is just even weirder. Jesus Christ.
What?
What?
No.
But let me go ahead and throw this one out there. And granted, we're still a few weeks away from the event, and anything can transpire. Anything can happen. I know a new episode of GCW's ITV product is going to be airing on Monday. Everything should be in place by now that I think is going to it's going to go up. I've already got the audio sent over to the production team. And TJ, thank you again. You and your team, thank you for all the hard work y'all do on the video side of it. I haven't watched all of them, and I do try to watch what I can where I can. And folks, if you don't know exactly of what we speak, if you're new to the To Be Determined show, all four of us work with Global Championship Wrestling, in addition to other promotions. But Global Championship Wrestling technically is a home promotion for I'll say 3 out of 4, if not 4 out of 4 of us, technically speaking. And we've been okay. If you're new to the show, let me go ahead and just lay these out there. I'm not going to say the lead announcer, but I am the primary ring announcer, as well as one of the commentator team, as well as the commissioner for Global Championship Wrestling. Up until recently, Wicked Nemesis was the manager for the GCW World Tag Team Champions, who on one half being here, Clyde Braddock, and the other half not being here, the Lord of the Limelight, Steve Styles. I was trying to figure if I wanted to say the nickname or not. And, of course, Angie, of course, is their business advisor. So we all work technically for Global Championship with Global Championship Wrestling. We've been in the middle of different storylines that have taken place over the last few months, and whether it be from my position as commissioner, whether it be from tag team singles competition, Wick being involved in different scenarios with different people. So it's a lot of this is coming to a head on Saturday night, May 30th, at Global Warfare, hashtag GCW Global Warfare 2015. I leave the date off script. But if you haven't had a chance to watch, Global Championship Wrestling has an ITV program which is available on YouTube, but we also show it through our front page of our website. I say our, I'm the one who programs the website, at gcwpro.com. If you haven't had a chance to, or if you didn't know about it, we'd appreciate it. Drop over to .com, drop over to YouTube and look up GCW Pro Wrestling, run it all together, and check out the product. You'll have a chance to see all of us in different capacities, all of us doing what we do best. In the variant of the phrase, kicking ass, taking names, and better yet, I just don't want to take the names. Let's just kick ass. And I'm all out of gum. There you go. I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and damn it, I'm out of bubble gum. But if you're not familiar with the product, we would definitely appreciate you dropping over and taking a look at it. We normally put up a 1 hour long ITV broadcast, internet TV. And from that vantage point, the last few episodes will get you caught up. We normally put one up every other Monday, and the new one is slated to go up this coming Monday. I believe that's going to be May 11th, I think is the date. And we normally hit it around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if not by 9 o'clock p.m. Central Time, as we go into the third hour of Raw, so everybody can see it on social media, the link therein. So if like I said, check it out. You'll get a chance to find out a little bit more about what we're talking about and what we're leading into at Global Warfare from Global Championship Wrestling, May 30th in the Pell City Civic Center in Pell City, Alabama. So you have to remember, we've been gone for a while.
So May 16th, I will be actually defending Steve Styles, since Steve has Sevenfold Saints business to take care of with Clyde Braddock that weekend. I will be defending Steve Styles' United States heavyweight title against that very turncoat, Joshua O'Hagan, at UIW.
Brazil.
Yes, 2 out of 3 falls. 2 out of 3 falls against Joshua O'Hagan, and I have the honor and privilege to be inducting one of my mentors, trainers, and one of my good friends, Damon Christopher, a.k.a. Damon Taz, a.k.a. and his birth name, Damon Harrison, into the UIW Hall of Fame. So there will be a meet and greet, which starts at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. Then the induction ceremony will happen, I think, about an hour later, maybe 30 minutes later, and then the event occurs. But I will be defending Steve Styles' title in 2 out of 3 falls. Come out and watch that, because the last time, and we weren't here to talk about this, the last time I was at UIW, okay. Let's rewind.
We almost started another damn riot.
Yes. Now let's rewind. Now Steve and Clyde are wrestling Dark City Fight Club. So they are in Orlando, Florida, kicking ass, taking names, gaining the respect of one of the greatest tag teams of our generation, if not the greatest, in the Dark City Fight Club, gaining their respect, which is awesome. So they had all of this going on.
And we didn't have no gum either. Sorry, I had to throw that.
Unfortunately, didn't have your manager down there. You would have won the damn World Tag Team Championships down in Vintage.
I know, the motherfuckers, man.
Now,
I think it's got something to do with the Booker. I think he's trying to mess us up.
Okay, Booker dude, bring in the manager. He's worth the money. Actually, he's worth twice the money.
Well, I appreciate that, but Angie wasn't there. Angie was sick, and also watching Tate was here, right? Correct. Her oldest son was here spending the night with her. So
Could be a reason why you were on alert a little more.
yeah, maybe. So we're just throwing that out there. Peach State has railings. Peach State, of course, is where I knocked the quote-unquote referee out for taking a swing at Clyde and then touching me. Now, UIW has no railing at all.
Oh, crap.
They got a little yellow rope.
Sometimes.
They didn't even have that. That was at the West Georgia Auto Auction. We were at the Temple City Rec Center.
The rec center is without.
Yeah, the rec center is without any barrier at all.
Without the tampon string.
Now, AJ and Pandora get the best of Jordan Grace and Mad Dog Dan Sawyer. I proceed to hit Pandora from behind after the match, of course. AJ knocks me down with a fierce right, as only AJ can. Anybody that's ever been hit with a frying pan knows what it's like to be hit by AJ Still.
No kidding.
It fucking sucks, by the way.
It fucking hurts. And so I start, trying to figure out where I am. I realize I'm not on Jupiter after all. I'm actually in Temple City, which the Temple City Rec Center is about as bad as Uranus. So we go and I pull out my handcuffs. I handcuff Pandora to the ring post. The fans are going crazy. Fans are coming after us. Colt Calloway and Drew Adler make the save because we proceed to start beating the shit out of AJ Still while Pandora's watching helplessly. A twist, because usually people beat up the woman. No, Pandora's had her ass whipped enough. The fact that we were taking out the UIW heavyweight champion and a man that we respect, AJ Still, I thought spoke more of a volume, and there were more words added to it without actually saying something, just by us beating the shit out of the biggest dog in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, my comic books explain guy.
Yes.
He does that after every video, Rob. We take out AJ, Colt Calloway, and Drew Adler make the save. We go out. Mad Dog Dan Sawyer starts cutting a promo as we're walking to the back. Now, there had been this fat guy that had been, he's got to be 400 pounds. He always talks to Angie every time she's there. Well, she wasn't there, and he had actually been handing the microphone back and forth because the UIW ring announcer is about 3,000 pounds.
And he's usually super laid back, super cool.
Yeah.
His daughter kind of gets out of hand sometimes, but.
So Mad Dog is cutting a promo. This guy goes up and he kind of chest bumps Mad Dog. So of course Mad Dog, thinking he's part of it, kind of chest bumps him back. But Mad Dog is doing it like in a joking way. He thinks that the guy's a fan, like, hey, we did it. That Mad Dog character, does that like a fuck yeah, we did it. So, of Mad Dog doesn't think anything about it. Well, the guy pushes Mad Dog. Mad Dog kind of looks around. Mad Dog pushes him back. Well, then the guy with an open hand hits Mad Dog right in the fucking eye. Just boom! And before Mad Dog can do anything, because their quote-unquote security is standing right there. Seeing all this going on.
Miss Diane wasn't there.
Miss Diane wasn't there.
So.
Miss Diane was not there.
Let's just put that on the table as well.
And so all of a sudden, like the fans start coming at us. They were already coming after us because of what I did to Pandora. Pandora had already been unhandcuffed and had went to the back. Her and AJ, of course, with the aid of Drew Adler and Colt Calloway. Leon Stresser's out there because Leon Stresser has a skeleton key to any handcuff, so he was actually able to go up because I swallowed the handcuff. I actually shit it out like a week ago. So, sorry.
So in other words,
you got to do something for the business. You got to give back to the business. Well, I gave back that night.
And your definition of giving back is unlocking your ass, right?
Yes. I shit out the key to the handcuffs. So, this guy hits Mad Dog in the face. As soon as he does that, I walk beside him. I put him in a side chokehold, not trying to hurt him, just to let him know, just to subdue him, and I take him down. Well, he falls on my leg and leaves this bruise that's, about a foot long?
He's like Humpty Dumpty come to life.
He's huge. Oh. This guy's huge. So he falls on my leg. I put him in chokehold. I won't let him go, but I'm just subduing him. Fans are like, Wicked, let him go, let him go. The security's screaming shit. People are calling the cops.
Nobody's touching you.
But nobody's touching me. Nobody's touching me. Everybody's calling the cops. Everybody's screaming shit.
Let him go, Wicked.
So let him go, Wicked. Let him go, let him go. And people are like, he's trying to kill him. He's trying to kill him. I said, I'm not going to let him go yet. And I get right in this guy's face and I say, are you going to fucking do it again? And he said, no, sir. So I let him go. We get up. So this old lady who Clyde knows, it's the one that her son is on the oxygen tank.
Yeah.
Yes. She goes and picks up a chair and she's going to throw it at Mad Dog. And Mad Dog says, if you throw that chair at me, old woman, he's like, I'm liable to put you in one that permanently rolls around. So she throws it at us. And it comes like a foot or two from Mad Dog and I, so I just take it and throw it. And of course, when I throw it, it fucking explodes into, pieces. And I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I'm just trying to get it out of the way. The cops, of course, were called. Unfortunately, we go to the back and Billy Knight fires all of us.
Yeah. Clarify all of us.
All of us, by everybody, even Clyde, who wasn't there, Steve, who wasn't there.
I was like, God dang.
All of us was anyone who was
associated with GCW.
Yes, on the roster, whether they were present or not.
But I told him, I said, what the fuck ever. And then I tell him that I didn't choke the guy because they're saying I choked him out. They're saying that I made him shit his pants. I mean, there's like instantly, like you would have thought that like I just ripped this guy's head off and like shit down his neck. And all I did was just take him down. The fans are in a near riot. They're trying to come in the locker room. Stan and Billy get into it because Stan's like, y'all aren't fired. Stan, of course, stands up for us because he was there and he saw exactly what happened.
Thank God.
Thank God, yeah. And Joshua Hagan, because the fans are trying to get in the locker room, pulls the car up all the way to the back door. We jump in and get the fuck out. So that's what it's like to get real heat in 2015. And all I was doing was protecting Dan because he already had hit Dan. We thought he was part of the show, and Dan even told him, he said, the reason why I didn't punch you in the face was because they had asked us to actually apologize to the guy. Dan apologized, said that, he didn't know that the guy wasn't part of the show. He thought he was part of security or something because he'd been handling the microphone. Everybody said something. They looked at me. They said, like there was a quiet, like everybody's waiting on me to say I'm sorry. And I said, oh, I'm not fucking apologizing. And I did not apologize. And he can suck a dick. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about GCW, UIW, and we're going to talk about the fight of the century. Was it the fight of the century? I think not. Right here, the To Be Determined Show live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
Hey, this is the voice, Ted Guinness, and I'm inviting you to tune in every Thursday night after Cause and Effect and after SmackDown goes off the air for The Show, the only show on Beyond Ringside dedicated to all things WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and your phone calls. That's The Show. Every Thursday night after SmackDown goes off the air, we go live right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside app.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Smark Rage from Wrestle Rage Radio, coming to you from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join myself and my co-host, Super Stan Grubb, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, as we present Wrestle Rage Radio, where we rant and rave on everything in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes we'll have a guest. Sometimes it'll be just me and Stan BSing about the sport that we love, pro wrestling. Check us out. Tune in Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, only on the Beyond Ringside Network.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Ladies and gentlemen, the To Be Determined Show, we are live. It is still May 6, 2015. Thank you to everyone that is catching us on replay through Podomatic, through Ustream, etc. Big shout out to the Deadhead Jeremy Hurst. I want to give a quick shout out to a dear friend of mine, Daniel Brown, who lost his wife. They've been together since she was 14 and he was 16, so, 17, 18 years they've been together. Maybe 19. It's been a long time they've been together. She just passed away from cancer. Started off as pancreatic cancer and then spread to her spine, and she just passed away
They have
Monday
four
night.
children.
They have 4 children.
Yes.
Their oldest is about to graduate from high school at the end of this month, and the 15-year-old, today was his birthday. She passed away Monday at 4 o'clock. And I talked to him. He sent me a Facebook message at 4:15 saying that she had passed away. So tomorrow are the funeral service, or not the funeral service, the wake, the memorial service, whatever, in Weaver. So Brian and I are going to make our way out there, possibly with my kids. It's going to be a heck of a thing, and it's just one of those things. Cancer, once again, it takes another life. She was gone way too soon and have so many children. But on a lighter note, Clyde Braddock's been working his ass off. Clyde, we appreciate you coming on tonight. I know you have to get up in the morning, but your Tough Enough video, we'll talk about that next week. Congratulations on the Tough Enough video. It was amazing. The first one was really good. Your second one was awesome. Got in there, poured your heart out, and showed why you are tough enough. So congratulations on that. Clyde, I know you want to say some things. How can everyone get in touch with you, and what do you have upcoming, of course, before we let you go?
All right, let's see. You can hit me up on Facebook at Clyde Braddock. There's only one, and he is awesome. Now you could hit me up on the old Twitter there at the @grand_design. And the T, the G, and the D is capitalized, so just be mindful of that. Let's see. Nothing this weekend. It's Mother's Day. Spend time with your mothers if she's still around. If not, think about your best time and just enjoy it being Mother's Day. I love Mother's Day because I love my mama. But let's see. Nothing going on this weekend, but the upcoming weekend. Let's see, the 15th, 16th, and 17th. The 15th, I'll be in All-Star Wrestling, I believe it is. Don't quote me on that. I don't have my shit right in front of me. But it's in Panama City Beach. I'll be wrestling there on Friday. Saturday, we'll be in Newport Richey for Vintage Wrestling. And that's about 2 hours west of Orlando.
Right.
And that Sunday at 5, I'll be wrestling in Orlando for Vintage. So, busy weekend coming up there. And I'll definitely talk to you guys before the next time, so I'll have more of my stuff available. And just a little bit to leave everybody on... guys, always try to do the right thing. Like, even if it sucks and people talk bad about you or whatever, guys, just do the right thing. It's part of being a good human. And, I believe that we should all try to be better. Never stop learning, and I learn to accept, so everybody else can too.
Well, good night, Clyde. We appreciate you coming on. Enjoy Mother's Day, and as always, thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you guys, and I'll talk to you guys next week.
Appreciate
Glad
you.
the show's back on. To be determined.
Good night, Clyde.
Take care,
Good
brother.
night.
Clyde Braddock, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao have officially signed to be on the new season of Dancing with the Stars.
Ooh.
I don't know. Don't you feel bad for everyone that paid that exorbitant amount of money?
I told people not to do it. Look, Floyd Mayweather said it perfectly going into the fight that by the end of the night he will be making 9 figures for this fight. He sat at the podium at the interview desk and said, "My goal tonight was accomplished because I just made 9 figures." Didn't say a damn word about defending the title, didn't say a damn word about boxing, didn't say anything else about defending the integrity of the sport or the business of boxing, drink. He said, "My goal was to make 9 figures on this fight." Floyd Mayweather has successfully found a way to pretty much put boxing on life support. This was supposed to be the fight of the century. This was supposed to be the super fight. I said a lot of this last night on Back to Basics, but I'm going to step out of the way because I want to hear what the two of you have to say about this.
Well, Angie pretty much hit the nail on the head. Go right ahead and tell everyone what you said prior to this break.
Well, just with the Muhammad Ali comments, I said he's using WWE, UFC heat-seeking tactics now. Wow. And then I think it was like directly after the fight, there were issues with Manny Pacquiao's shoulders.
Yep.
Shoulder injury. Potential lawsuits were being threatened. Now we hear, what was the latest?
5 million is what it's up to. I'm sure it's past that now.
And now we're on to yet another subject, which is what did Clyde tell us? People were threatening to sue because
How big the ring was?
yes. Supposedly they let Mayweather choose the size ring that they could, have the event. He chose a huge 26-foot ring, which would obviously, make it harder and gas Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, because WWE
Quicker.
uses 20 foot and they were using 26. By the end of the first round, this is from the Mirror, which you can tell I'm from the Southwest, said that the mirror.co/UK/sport/boxing. The Mirror is really good, very prominent leader in sports and in the news overall in England. Okay, by the end of the first round, Mayweather had already amassed $14,984,984,043.
Yep.
Pacquiao had already made, by the end of the first round, $9,989,362.
I'm gonna just call this. I think Don King is somewhere in this mix.
The total,
There's
the
some
final.
dirty stuff going on.
Look,
The total, the final for this entire fight. Manny Pacquiao, 119,872,340
yep.
on one night. Mayweather, 179,808,511. Say that again. $179,808,511.
He tried to show the check on national television on ESPN, but he opted not to show the check because it had the routing number for the bank.
Wow.
He could be a dirtbag for that.
Over the 12 rounds, Mayweather earned $4,994,681 per minute of action, with Pacquiao earning $3,329,787 per minute.
That is disgusting.
And you have to remember this: there was over $1 billion, billion, not bad to the own billion, but billion dollars in gambling that has taken place throughout the course of this entire run, and I believe the number was over $3.5 billion that is circled through different sports books because of this. Remember this: there was another prop bet that was put up there because the Las Vegas in particular was really worried about something. Because of the factor that the money had started to swing and more people were betting on Pacquiao. And then the momentum started to go back toward Mayweather a little bit. The ESPN Sports, ESPN vote, Twitter vote for who do you feel is going to win. Pacquiao won that one like 62-38 or 61-39, something like that. But Las Vegas even put up a prop bet. Do you think there will be a draw, yes or no bet here? That started out, actually, when they brought that out on Thursday, if my notes were correct, when they officially made that one a prop bet on Thursday or Wednesday, it started out at, I think it was like 35-1. By Friday morning, it had dropped to 30-1. On Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon before the fight, it dropped to 5-1. There were a number of people who were thinking this fight was going to end up being a draw, and you weren't that damn far off. Basically, because of the money that flowed through. If anybody wants to talk rematch, you're just go pick up a damn belt and beat your ass now. If you're going to spend more money on this. But from what I understand, and I'm not totally perfect on this, Floyd Mayweather has vacated all of his championships. As of, I think it was Monday morning. He vacated all of his titles. Not sure if Manny is still vacated, if Manny had vacated the ones that he still possesses. But if the two of them will vacate all titles, no golds on the line, no belts, no championships, no titles, no trophies, and we find out who genuinely is, pound for pound, the best fighter in this bracket of time. Because remember, this fight's technically 5 years past its prime. This fight should have happened 5 years ago. This fight that just happened should have been part 3 of the trilogy. But if they can convince me and the rest of the populace that this is not a championship fight, this is a fight. This is going to be a boxing match. Because remember, in this fight, it was for Mayweather's belt. Mayweather had champion's advantage. I talked about this last night. Mayweather didn't have to win the fight. Mayweather only had to not lose the fight. Remember, we've had these discussions before. So, for everybody who's sitting back, and I'm pissed off about it too, just like I know y'all are. For Floyd Mayweather to do what he did, proved the fact that he understood the fact that it was a championship fight for his championship. The champion doesn't have to come out with both barrels blazing. The champion just has to make sure not to lose the belt. Wick, Angie?
I mean, neither one of them have to really do a whole lot of anything else at this point in their life. They've made so much money off of this last thing. And, I mean, the tactics that were used to get to that point, I mean, I don't know if there's any redemption after the fact anyway, so.
Well, we got it. Maybe
was
6 years too late, but we
I
got
think
it.
this is catastrophic for boxing.
It is. What do y'all think about John Jones? Basically, Reebok dropping him, UFC suspending him, stripping him of the title for the hit and run deal, and everything else that's going on. Conviction for marijuana, or arrest for marijuana, the hit and run, and everything else he's got going on.
I like John Jones, but I mean, at first it was failure. Oh, I'm sorry. First it was failure for cocaine, then it was marijuana possession and a hit and run, which I think is a felony hit and run.
Yep.
That's what they're charging him with. I just stepped all over Angie's foot. Sorry about that. But I mean, it had to be done with those looming charges. I mean, he has to be stripped. He has to have those titles taken away, and he needs to be sent away indefinitely.
Yes. It's unfortunate, but I agree.
There you go.
Oh, by the way, since both of y'all are Twitter holics, let me throw this one at you. And there's a couple more I want to hit y'all with before we head for the closing credits. Michelle Beadle on Twitter openly turning in her WWE fan card because of, quote unquote, the love that Triple H has for someone so guilty of domestic violence. Angie, your thoughts on that comment from Michelle Beadle?
Well, first of all, I'm very intrigued who the person she's referring to.
Floyd Mayweather?
Oh, that person. Okay.
Yeah, that person.
Okay, I mean, I didn't know. All right. That's one of those things. I mean, that's something you have to really stand for and believe in. And, if you believe that strongly about something, you have to take a stand. And you do like Clyde Braddock, you speak out and stand your ground, I guess.
Wick?
And not only that, I believe Mayweather had her barred from the fight. So,
her, as well as two other journalists, were denied credentials to the fight because of the fact that Mayweather's camp felt that they wrote derogatory and demeaning articles about the champ.
Rachel Nichols, I believe.
Rachel, that's it, Rachel.
By the second to me, I'm surprised some rappers didn't get murdered over all this. This is dirty.
Yeah, I mean, if Biggie were alive, he would definitely write 16 bars about this.
This is, yeah.
But
there were a lot of hands involved to make all this happen.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what happens when you give that much power to one person. Things like this occur where it's, kind of shifty. I don't know. That's yet to be seen. But, Eddie, how can everyone get in touch with you, sir, and what do you have upcoming?
Actually, do me a favor. 2 more quick ones, and I'll make them brief. I know that the two of y'all do watch Lucha Underground on occasion. And I know, Angie, I believe you said before that you're a fan of the promotion.
I've seen a few episodes, and I like what I see.
Did you happen to see the episode dated April 22nd, I believe it is, that was actually the finals of the Trios Championship Tournament?
I did not see, I don't think that particular, I did see part of the tournament.
If you've got El Rey close to your TV right now, that episode, I believe, is about to start in about 1 minute, if my notes are correct. Watch that episode if you get a chance to. I guarantee you, both of you will get a genuine appreciation and enjoyment out of that episode because they did everything right, just like they've been doing the whole damn time. Number 2, real quick, did either of you see Raw Monday night, specifically Hour 3?
I did not.
I did not either.
And that's okay. I want you to go back and find a way to watch Raw from the time that John Cena makes his entrance in Montreal to the time that the match is over and Cena exits the ring. I will say this very clearly. It was on this past Monday night that I developed a brand new appreciation and respect for the entity known as John Cena. You have to see it to believe it. I'll tell you off air. Short version is www.beyondringside.com. The home? Damn straight. And slowly but surely, we're back. Tuesday nights, Beyond Ringside Back to Basics. Wednesday night, the To Be Determined Show. Thursday night at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. The Show with Ted Guinness. Got very special guests coming on this week, and I believe, if my notes are correct, he'll be joined by the Grand Design Clyde Braddock tomorrow night. He'll also be joined by the Bosnian War Child Spiral, as well as Do or Die Chip Day tomorrow night right here on Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. This coming Sunday is Mother's Day, so we got some questions being bandied about what shows are going to be where. I do believe the Midnight Black Mass will be off of vacation this coming Sunday, airing in its regular time slot. Wrestle Rage Radio with Smart Rage and Stan. Very possible that Stan's going to be on assignment, and Corey will probably be gunning it for an hour. And we're going to work to see exactly if for Beyond Ringside Live at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. If everybody's going to be on board this coming Sunday as well for this week's show. You heard it mentioned a minute ago. Live and recorded for the station itself. The Beyond Ringside Radio app. Amazon, Android, BlackBerry. BeyondRingside.com. Shoutcast Radio cross-platform. TuneIn Radio cross-platform. On Beyond Ringside branded products, and when I'm able to produce, Ustream. We don't do replays that often through Ustream. We are going to start doing more through YouTube. From there, replay side of life. Media page, beyondringside.com. Replays are also done through the station. Recent episodes and interviews. iTunes, Podomatic, Stitcher, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. All the way across the board. For everybody who's been re-downloading the app or downloading for the first time, thank you. It is appreciated. For me personally, you can find me at Fast Eddie Layne, LAYNE.com. This Friday night, 9 o'clock p.m., I'll be at Buffalo Wild Wings in Alabaster hosting Friday Night Karaoke. This coming Saturday night, I'm actually going to be DJing a class reunion, Pleasant Grove High School's 30-year reunion. Thank you very much to everybody who's asked me to come on board for this. My bookings are handled through Full Range Entertainment, fullrangeentertainment.com. Check it out. From there, if I'll do the wrestling promos later, but I'm just going to go ahead and say this. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google+, MySpace, and Facebook. Facebook sucks. But first, more than anything else, please drop by Fast Eddie Layne, LAYNE.com.
Angie, how can everyone get in touch with you?
Well, you can reach me on Twitter at Angie_Nemesis. And I'm on Facebook, but you should just probably hit me up on Twitter.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming back and taking this magical mystery ride with us once again for the To Be Determined show. For Clyde Braddock, for Brian Zane. Brian, thank you for coming on once again. Eddie, thank you for having us back tonight. May 16th, we'll be at UIW. May 30th, of course, GCW at the Pell City Civic Center. Thank you to everyone that's joined us tonight. Well, good night, good luck, and as always, lead your week. To be determined.
You forgot something.
What I forget?
Don't be a...
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, how...
Clyde even got that in.
How small of me. And as always, don't be a maybe. Be a definite. Forever forward, sevenfold saints.